Hello, everyone. Okay. Hey, everyone. Okay, I hope everyone's having a great day today. Greetings from Carcer City. Well, greetings, dude. How are you? We got the snow back in Red Dead. That's nice. Okay, WRV, just sell your business when you're ready, and I'll help you out. Hey, everyone. Hey, Nicholas. Thank you for sponsoring my channel for 11 months. Thanks, man. Hey, Nicholas, Jinsel, GSFL, Bernadian, Anawak, Zom, Mr. Hopkins, Brisk, Monteon, Gupta, Suspect 13, Jaden, Chess Crab, David, Sebastian, Gelato. Hey, everyone. CW Games, hey guys. I love the green suit for CJ. Thank you. You guys like that cosplay that I have for CJ? I don't even know who the Riddler is, honestly. People have been saying I look like the Riddler. I don't even know who the Riddler is. But apparently he's like a Batman villain. What's my favorite Christmas CTA? What's CTA? What's your favorite... my favorite characters from Kane and Lynch? My favorite character from Kane and Lynch is probably Kane, I would say. I like Lynch too, but Kane is my favorite character in that series. Thank you, Jinzo. From Kane and Lynch, Gem. What are you doing for Christmas? We're gonna do a charity stream, on Christmas Eve. We do a charity stream every year. Is it possible to beat Raymond Bishop in Fight Night Champion? No, it's not. You always lose that fight, no matter what. Oh, Call to Arms. My favorite Call to Arms map? I don't know. I'd have to look at it. We'll do Call to Arms a little later, by the way. Is Red Dead Redemption still getting updates? Well, if you count these monthly events as updates, but other than that, no, it doesn't. They've pretty much ignored the game. What's better, GTA races or Saints Row races? I've never really played much of the Saints Row races, so I'm going to probably say GTA races. Are you seeing what the hell is going on with the GTA Twitter handle? What's going on now? Yeah, Fear is a heavily requested game on the channel. I did hear about that, yes. I heard about the CEO that got assassinated. There's a CEO of a very large insurance company that got assassinated when he walked out of his, building the other day. I think so, Jorge. What Ace Attorney name Easter egg do I like the most? I have to think about that one. People are making those, yeah, moon pattern theories. They're getting ridiculous. When do you think we'll get GTA 6 trailer 2? Before the end of this year. I think we'll get a trailer this year. This December. So this month. Sometime before the holidays, probably. Thank you, Cameron, for the super chat. Hey, Golden. Can I send an invite? Sure, General. Hold on. Yes, I can play Spec Ops The Line. That's a heavily requested game, too. General, you have to appear online for me to invite you. Favorite clothes store in San Andreas? Victim, probably. Fahrenheit? I don't know that game. Did I see your email? When did you send it to me? I can check a little bit later. I'm sorry, I've just gotten a lot of emails. If you tell me the date you sent it to me, I can take a look at it later. Amnesia, I've heard of that game before, yes. I forgot to hit the like button, doing now. Give him some likes. Oh, thank you, Equistrian. Thank you. Thank you, dude. Okay, okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it a little later then. I'll probably reply to your email. What's that, Brandon? When's the last update coming on Generation Zero? How come my horse stamina never drains? Because I have like max bondage with my horse, and this is like one of the best horses in the game. Yeah, sometime in that year. I just don't know when, but sometime in the year. Rex, you need to leave one of your posses. I stopped paying attention to Steam Awards as well, as I'm afraid it was ruined by trolls again. Well, we kind of did that last year, because, what I basically did was, during my Red Dead streams, I started telling people, vote as, like, Red Dead Online is, like, the game that has the most DLC content, and, like, people kept doing it. I don't know how much of an effect I had on it, but, like, we were trolling, and we were just, like, voting as, like, Red Dead as, like, the game that has the most amount of DLC content, and people kept voting for it, and, like, because of that, it won Steam's awards for, like, the most DLC content, and it was just, like, a massive troll we did. And and the purpose of that was just to make Rockstar look stupid. It was, like, because people would, like, look at that and be like, Red Dead Online is the most DLC content. It was, like, the whole purpose of it was just to, basically make Rockstar look stupid for abandoning the game, but that was one thing I never forgot when we did that. That was kind of funny. Okay. December 12th. Oh, that's next week. Okay. What's one thing you don't want to see in GTA 6? Oppressor Mark IIs? Anything futuristic? Rockstar didn't see that one coming. You got him good, pro. Thank you, Amateur. But it's not just me. It was everybody else that voted for it too. But it was, I don't know how much of an effect I had on it again. But it was kind of funny when For people that are confused, what we did on this channel last year is I kept telling people to vote, to go to Steam, and, like, vote for, like, Red Dead Online as, like, the game that has the most DLC content in 2023. And people kept doing it, and it ended up winning as, like, the game that has the most DLC content on the Steam Awards, because so many people voted for it. And it was just, like, a massive troll that we did. I know, tomorrow's the, anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack, Mason. December 7th. I did. I heard about that CEO dying. Yes. What was the Pearl Harbor attack? December 7th, 1941, Imperial Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor with hundreds of planes, attacking the docks, the civilians, Navy personnel there, sinking several ships. Pearl Harbor is probably the... Pearl Harbor, I think, is the worst attack in American history besides September 11. Yeah, it's Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor and September 11 are the two worst attacks on American soil. Dumbest GTA theory that Brad is Lester. Can't wait for the Ready or Not video. I will, I have some good cosplay that I can use for, like, some tactical, you know, cosplay for that, for, like, the special forces for that game. Thank you, GoldenEye, for the super chat. Meme coin? Wait, what? Who? Wait, I don't understand. Yeah, I missed that. The hospitals were fun to explore in, The hospitals were fun to explore in GTA 4. I could reinstall it, Brandon. Oh, it's like a choice-based game? Okay. You have that gun in real life? What gun? Gregory Edgeworth was named after Gregory Peck, the actor for Atticus Finch, also a lawyer in Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I know about the United Healthcare CEO. What Vice City radio stations would San Andreas characters have as their favorite or favorites? CJ, CJ and Sweet would probably like Radio Los Santos. I'm trying to think of the other characters in the game. Caesar would like... Oh, man, I don't even remember the name of the radio stations in the game. I don't... Yeah, I'm just losing my track of thought right now. Should I wait till the last minute? Yeah, let's wait until the last 2 minutes. Oh, let me... General, I'll invite you in just one moment here. Do you think breaking into a military compound and stealing a chopper would attract more attention than a street-level jacking an armored truck? Of course it would. Yes, that's what... That mission was ridiculous.
Good Lord.
What's my funniest GTA moment? I can probably answer that one. My funniest GTA moment was when I played GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, and I kept doing the Pier 69 mission, and I kept dying because of glitches. I died in so many ridiculous ways. Like, the mission is completely glitched out, and the game killed me in such a ridiculous way. The CEO gunman put delay, deny, depose in the bullets he had. That's pretty hard, if you ask me. Well, to me, when I first heard that the guy was like that he was like a big insurance company CEO, to me it was obvious the motive. That it was somebody who they either got denied coverage or one of their family members got denied coverage. That was probably the motive. Hey, Professional, when are you going to upload the Crash lore video? Well, first, Dennis, thank you for the super chat. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload a lore video on the Russian Mafia in GTA San Andreas and explaining what their role exactly is in the story. Then I'm gonna do a lore video on Berkeley, you know, explaining the conflict on Berkeley and Zero and basically what happened during the casino heist. And then I also wanted to do a lore video on Torino. The Torino lore video is the heavily requested one. And then after that, I'll probably do the Crash one. The Crash one is probably going to... I'll be honest with you, the Crash video is probably going to be the hardest one to make. So I'm going to probably release the easier ones first just so people can start watching that in the meantime while I work on the heavier projects. Thank you, Dennis, for the super chat. What does the ATF care more about shooting or someone with a foregrip on a submachine gun? Thank you for the super chat. The ATF is just a terrible agency. It really is. It's a garbage federal agency. And also, when I studied like law enforcement in school, I had a teacher that was a DEA agent. I had a teacher that was a homicide detective. I had a teacher that was a street cop. And all of them hated the ATF. Not one of them liked the ATF. So the ATF is even an agency that's disliked by a lot of other agencies. Like, if you ever watch those videos on YouTube where, like, you watch those videos where, like, the ATF comes to, like, some guy's house and, like, there's, like, those agents that come to somebody's house and they basically start saying to them, like, oh, you purchased 2 handguns in the last month, and they start, like, harassing them and asking them, like, a bunch of questions. 99% of the time it's the ATF that are doing that. They're, like, wasting their time. It's harassing, like, law-abiding gun owners instead of like actually going after the real criminals. So it's like if I was president, I would personally abolish the ATF because I think that it's done so much harm and it's not a helpful agency at all. Is the ATF or the CIA worse? The CIA is worse than the ATF, definitely, but the ATF is still a bad agency. When Kravchenko was a little kid, he would tear the little plastic eyes out of his teddy bears. What? Well, thank you, Own Titan, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kravchenko did something like that. Kravchenko was a psycho. Thank you, Own Titan. It's okay, WRV, you don't have to apologize.
This can't be happening again.
What's your opinion on people who graffiti? What, you mean, like, vandalism? Well, if you do graffiti on your own property, that's art, because it's your own, you know, land. But if you do it on somebody else's property, it's vandalism. It doesn't matter how nice it is, it's still vandalism. The thing about here's what I'll say about the people who do graffiti. is that a lot of times the people that do graffiti are actually very talented people. They're actually very good at art. Like, if you've seen some of the graffiti that they do, they're really good at it. So, like, you would think that they would just put that more towards, like, a more productive use. Like, why don't you actually make art and sell it instead of, like, you know, vandalizing people's property? Hey, Wasabi guy. Is it snowing where you at? No. How much money can you get for a video with 200,000 views on YouTube? Well, it highly depends. It depends on first of all the time period, because different seasons of the year pay differently on ads. It depends on how many ads the video has, because if it's like over 8 minutes, it can have more than one ad. So it depends on numerous factors. What is the most useless class that somebody can take in college? I don't know if there truly is a useless class, because what's useless to somebody else might be helpful to somebody else. That's the thing is. Like for me, for example, if I took a class on calculus, for me that's useless to me because I don't need it. But like somebody else that's like needs it for their degree, that's gonna be useful for them. So it really depends. Yeah, I realized that after I posted the video, I actually realized that it's the Vice City hidden packages that he has, yeah. Mercenaries 1 replay through in the future. January, we're going to do Mercenaries 1 for the 20th anniversary, and we're going to do Max Payne 3. Well, a video like that can it depends, but it could make a few thousand. It really depends on the season. Like I said, the amount of ads. It really depends on how quickly the video grows too. That's another thing. That's
good business. It's all there for you. Hope it was worth it.
If Maurice Chavez ain't in GTA 6, then all is lost. Thank you, Scoot, for the super chat. Maurice Chavez? Who's that? I'm just losing my track of thought. Oh, the radio guy. That guy. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just losing my track of thought. What is the most difficult video that I've ever created? The most difficult video that I think I've ever made. When it comes to a lore video, just a strictly speaking lore video, the most difficult lore video that I've ever made is why does Trevor forgive Michael for betraying him? That's probably the most difficult lore video I've made. When it comes to the most difficult video that I've made out of all my videos of all time, it's technically a lore video, but the most difficult lore video that I think I've ever made is the video visiting Bismarck, North Dakota, because I went to North Dakota and I went there just to make a video. So I went to North Dakota to make a video, and I went to Bismarck, which is what Ludendorff is based on, and I was recording what Bismarck looked like and the streets in Bismarck, and I was comparing it to Ludendorff, and that was probably the most difficult one because I traveled to Bismarck, and I was filming it there, and I went to different locations, and I had to put it all together, so that was probably the most difficult one that I made. Yes, I did, Phoenix. I heard about it. Is America today's version of the Roman Empire? I don't know, because I don't know if you can really compare it, but I will say about ancient Rome is, ancient Rome collapsed because it got too big to govern, and they didn't fully secure their territories, and they had, like, bandits and, like, barbarians still in their territory when they haven't even fully secured it. And what Rome was doing is Rome had, like, massive economic problems, and they still would keep up with the military conquest. So instead of actually securing their territory and fixing their economies, they still kept focusing on military conquests, and then it bankrupted their country, and their, country completely collapsed. Hi, Pro, have you thought of playing the Telltale Walking Dead games? I played Season 1 and 2, I've never played Season 3 and 4, so that could definitely be a series I could do. Thank you, Until Dusk. How do you travel, like, every 2 months, and if you drive? I don't travel every 2 months. I visit my family really 2 times a year. I visit them in the summertime, and I visit them in the wintertime. And I don't drive a lot. I barely drive. I only drive when I need to get groceries, really. One of the stupidest things that Rome did is Rome used gold coins as a form of currency. That's one of the dumbest things you can do. Did I hear about the United Health CEO killing? Yes, I did. I heard about it, General's alert. He was assassinated in Manhattan. What capture card would you advise me to get? Well, it would be a capture card that would be able to run through OBS, because I run OBS. What are your thoughts on the killing? The thing about that is the second that I read that he was an insurance CEO, I already knew the motive. That was somebody, either they didn't get the coverage they wanted, or their family member didn't get the coverage they wanted. So that's basically what I thought. Also, he had many threats. Why did he request government security? Well, in America, even if you're threatened, you're not going to get government security. You're not going to. The government isn't going to give that to you. The only time people get government security is when they are a witness to, like, a crime. So, like, if they're, like, a witness to a crime and there's somebody, like, out to get them, then they're probably going to get some kind of government security. But if it's just, like, somebody's getting threats, they're usually not going to get, they're not going to get security. Well, you just record them to your computer, CW games, and then you edit them for your computer. That's what I do. Yeah, I heard about that martial law thing in South Korea. Well, you basically just, when you record through OBS, you choose where you want the clip to save to on your computer. And you, like, create a folder, and it, saves your clips in there, and you edit from there. Yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands is a game that I will definitely play. Definitely play in 2025. You know what's crazy? People talk about how they shot someone, then make a song about it. Man, aliens must think we're dumb. Thank you, Golden Eye, for the super chat. The thing is, though, there was actually a rapper who had actually made a song about shooting somebody, and he actually killed somebody. And the court used that as evidence against him, and they were like, and the guy's lawyer tried to argue that it was just a song, but it was like what he said in the song like matched very carefully to like how the murder actually happened, and it was like not just a mere coincidence.
Enjoy your last moments, you son of a bitch! Holy shite! Ah, shit and fire!
I don't remember what the rapper's name is. I don't remember, so somebody in the chat could probably tell me. But the only thing I know is that like one of his songs had like detailed like a murder, and it was very similar to an actual murder that happened. And the thing about that is, it doesn't matter if it's a song, it can be used as evidence. So it doesn't matter if it's a song. If they can prove that song was based on the murder, they can use that as evidence. Melly, that's the guy's name. Was he found guilty? Thank you for the super chat, GoldenEye. Was he found guilty? What's your comment, Zach? Can you just post it again?
Come on, damn it.
Well, Wildlands is way better than Breakpoint.
Hey, this ain't for me.
Oh, you got problems?
What the hell's wrong with you?
I got scammed out of $200 buying Google cards. I lost trust in stores. Wait, how did that happen? What happened exactly? I've ever played Brothers in Arms? No, but a lot of people have requested I play that one.
You can bundle them up nice and tight in that there cell. I'll see about a payment.
You got it.
Melly's being tried soon, okay.
Just what's your problem? Walk with your eyes open.
I entered the code and it won't go through. The 5 times now and I'm almost out of money in my wallet. I'm sorry to hear about that, Phoenix. I would what I would do is I would go I don't know if the store can help you, but you might want to go to contact Google directly, like the Google I think there'll be a Google Play number on there, and then you can tell them that the code's not working. But I got scammed with a gift card. Basically what happened is my mom, like 2 years ago, my mom bought me a second PS5, and she just bought me that for Christmas because it just I visit my family like every year, and she kept she was telling me that if I kept bringing the PS5 on the plane, that they were gonna smash it on the plane, and so she just bought me a second PS5 for Christmas. And what happened is that PS5 came in a bundle, and it came from, I'm trying to remember the name of the store. Was it PC Research? No, I don't remember the name of the store. It was a big store, I remember that. But basically, the code, the PlayStation box, it was new, unopened, and it had like a $100 PlayStation code in it. And I had taken out the PlayStation code. I scratched it off so I could see the code, and it didn't work. The code would not work, and it says the code's already been activated. And I was like, how's that possible? It's like the first time that I scratched out the code. And when I tried to contact Sony, they would not help me. They would not refund me the $100, and so I lost $100 on that. It pissed me off. Bro, the retrial is in September 10, 2025. Who was he guilty of killing or accused of killing? Thank you, Golden. Wait, what? MJ, that's disgusting. Ugh. He apparently killed 2 of his best friends? Well, why? What's the motive? How have I been? I've been good, Anonymous. How are you? The snow looks so good in this game. Thank you, Mr. Juck. It does look better than GT Online. Way better. The courts uses freedom of speech against him. It's not really freedom. Here's the thing is, if somebody makes a statement, the courts can use that against them. It's not really violating their free speech. If they can prove that they've said something, like if they have witnesses that say that they've said something, they could use that as evidence against them. I'll stream on Christmas Eve. That's what I'll stream. I'll stream I'll do a charity stream on Christmas Eve. That's when I'll stream. I watched a video of a guy calling Call of Duty imperialist propaganda, and who's saying that? I will actually find you my capture card. Hold on, the capture card that I use. That I'm actually streaming with right now. Hold on. Let's see here. Give me 1 second here. I just have to find it, because the capture card that I use, it's not on Amazon anymore. Hold on 1 second.
Get yourself back here and face me!
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna, I cannot even find it on Amazon anymore. Hold on. And there's, I don't know which website is the best to link. I'm just gonna type it in chat what it's called. Hold on. This is the name of the capture card that I use. I just typed it in chat. It's the HDMI capture card Anston USB 3.0 game video converter. That's the one that I've used, and I've used it for 4 years, and I haven't had any problems with it. And there's really no reason for me to get another capture card, because I've had no problems with it. Bro, the retrial is in September. Oh, yep, okay. And let me, what is it here?
Get these damn ropes off me!
I think his friend on a manslaughter charge, and I quote, I didn't even see him, and I cocked my pistol and shot him twice. His face was on a t-shirt. His family was traumatized. That's horrible.
Shit! Hold on. Shit!
Oh, that was the capture card that I've been using. I'm using this now, and it's been working great for me.
A course on you!
If it's only 1080p, how do you upload some videos 4K then, or 1440p? My video processor lets me upload it in 4K. So I don't know. It's like my video processor lets me do it, and it works, and it does improve the quality. So like when I put it in my video editor and I make it 4K, it always improves the quality. So I'm not sure then, but
Oh, hell!
I use Adobe Premiere Elements, but I probably should change the capture card. I've had it for 4 years, but it's been like I said, it's been working great, and I haven't really had any issues with it.
Whoa! Get yourself back here and face me! What's the matter with you?
I ain't looking for no problem.
How do you cut the background during my streams? You mean like all the stuff behind me? I don't use a green screen. People think I use a green screen, but I don't. I use NVIDIA Broadcast. It's a feature. You just basically plug your camera into the computer, link it with NVIDIA Broadcast, and the broadcast will basically pick up your face and your body, and it will edit out everything else. So it's like a program that automatically just cuts everything else out in the back. I'm liking the cosplay for the stream. Thank you, man.
Face me! You son of a bitch.
It's going good, 8-Ball. How are you, man? King Vaughn, he had killed 11 people? What? What do you think some people call chess racist as white moves first? What? No, is that real? Are you actually trolling with me? Are you joking, or is that actually do people actually say that? Just please tell me that's a joke. You gotta tell me that that's a joke. You're one of the only few YouTubers who actually made me feel happy when I was being bullied, so for that, I just want to say thank you. No problem, Autos. Glad I was able to help you out. That's real. I've seen many people say it. Is it real? I gotta look this up. Hang on. Oh my god, I googled it. Oh my god, so it is real. It's like, I will say this political correctness is like a disease. Like this political correctness garbage. Like it is just like everything is offensive, everything is racist, even when it's not offensive, even when it's not racist. It's like the people have gone absolutely insane. That's what I'll say. Like literally, I have never once thought about race when playing chess. Like I never even looked at like the white or black pieces and thought about race ever. That was like the first time I ever thought about race when you just basically asked me about it just now. Is like chess racist, and it's just that is like that the white moves first. Apparently that's racist in chess now. It's like literally chess is like literally a like I think it's like a 2,000-year-old game. I think it even goes back to the Roman times. Like I don't people are insane. That's just like what I'll say about that. I don't know how anybody, you know, I gotta say this is you have to have some serious issues, like some serious psychological problems in your head to like look at a chessboard and then think that's racist. Like somebody, I'm not saying you, WRV, I'm just saying like the people that are bringing that up is like they have to have some kind of serious issues, like when they're like looking at a chessboard and thinking about race. Like they have to have some serious issues.
Give him one of these ribs.
Good business. Damn good business.
What caused political correctness to happen? Basically, it was... I think that political correctness came from a bunch of people that were basically trying to police speech, and they thought that they were on the right side of history, and so it's gotten absolutely so insane that they will just cancel anything. Because I will tell you, the people that engage in political correctness, like they engage in stuff like that, they literally think that anyone who disagrees with them is evil. They think that anyone who disagrees with them is like some evil, horrible racist. Like, if you just argue with them, you bring up like points with them that it's like you explain to them, this has nothing to do with racism. It's just your points are just ridiculous. They will think that that person is like evil. They will think that that person is like a bad person or something like that. And also, it doesn't help the media makes excuses for this too. That's what I'll also say. Like, the media honestly defends this stuff and makes excuses for it. What's your question, Golden? Oh, great. I think my chat froze now, too. Hold on, my chat will unfreeze in a moment. Let me go check my camp out, too, here. Okay, there we go. Chat's fixed now. Okay. Chess was founded in the 6th century during the Gupta Empire, in India. And people who call chess racist don't understand that. Yeah, like I said, I don't know who's gonna, yeah, that's one of the most ridiculous things that I've heard. Chess is apparently racist. Back 4 Blood was just a disappointing game. It just wasn't as good as Left 4 Dead. I don't know. Why don't they just remake Left 4 Dead 2? Like, why don't they just remake the game? That'll get, that'll sell. Make a brand new engine, remake the game. You don't need to change anything, just remake it on a new engine. Let's get a petition for the ATF and a going to the range video. Thank you for the super chat, Golden Eye. But a petition to abolish the ATF is not going to do anything. The government has to do that. Man, the snow in this game is beautiful.
Supplies are running down fast.
The Norse, Danes, and Swedes, Vikings even had their own version of chess. Yeah, so like I said, is and the people who say that like chess is racist, like I said, is that those people have some serious issues. I don't understand your super chat, Golden. Are you like calling for a petition for what exactly? For abolishing the ATF? Well, like, the ATF, I think, should get abolished, but I'm confused on your super chat, because it's a... So, liar, then, so you're not playing Back for Blood? You lied then? Wait, what are you talking about, John? What? What's wrong, John? I did actually play Back for Blood. I didn't make a video of it on the channel, but I did actually play the beta, and I played a lot of the beta. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really have fun with it. No, we're not talking about Bad Blood, John. Not the Bad Blood DLC on Watch Dogs. We're talking about Back for Blood. I'm sorry, I was confused on what you were saying. The Bad Blood DLC on Watch Dogs, I'll play that, and it was good. I'm talking about Back for Blood, not Bad Blood. Not Bad Blood is a good DLC on Watch Dogs, a good DLC story. We're talking about Back for Blood. It's a separate game. It was not a good game. That's what we're talking about, like the zombie game. That's the game we're talking about. Sorry for the confusion. I will play Bad Blood. Are you here, John? Yeah. So sorry about anybody else confused. I'm sorry. We're not talking about Bad Blood, the Watch Dogs DLC. We're talking about the zombie game. You here, John? One game for the rest of my life? Probably Saints Row 2, then. I'll play it. I just don't know exactly when, but I'll play a Metal Gear Solid 2. Have I played any Far Cry games? Yes, I played Far Cry 2 and I like it. Have I played Il-2 Stormovic? I haven't, but I know the game. It's a World War II aircraft game. What do you think that some Islamic countries have banned chess, saying it's against Islam? I don't know what that's how is it over like the king and queen piece? Is that what it's over? But it's no, I'm generally confused because my dad's family is mostly Muslim and they play chess, so I'm confused. I'm confused. You're saying Islamic countries, but like I said, my father's family is mostly Muslim, and I have never heard anybody say that chess was anti-Islamic, so I'm confused. Saudi Arabia and Iran have banned chess? What? It's, okay, well, that's, I don't know what the reasoning for that is, but that's... Wait, you're from an Islamic family? Where is your father from? No, I'm not from an Islamic family. My father's family is mostly, Muslim. My mother's family is mostly Catholic. My mother is Polish Slavic, and my father is a Polish Tatar, which the Tatars are like they're a group that's originally from Central Asia that came to Poland in the, in like the 13th century. Yeah, Lipka Tatar. That's the name. That's the ethnic group that my father is. Well, technically, I'm half Lipka Tatar and half Slav too. Pat, I need a favor after stream. Listen to these songs. Turker to the Murder, oh Murder on my my head and mama. Are those the songs the rapper like made that he was arrested for? That like they used to like as proof that he killed somebody? Thank you, Golden. I thought they were from Turkey originally. Well, the Tatars are like a very vast people. Like they stretch all the way from like you know, Eastern Europe to Turkey to you know, Central Asia all the way to like Mongolia. So like they're like I said, is that their people just they cover like a very big amount of land. But the Tatars are really a nomadic people. For most of their history, they've been a nomadic people. They really, they did actually have their own country at one point, but they lost their country. The land that's part of Russia right now, Crimea, or Russia took over, that land used to be a Tatar country. It was in the like 17th century. It's like when it got conquered by the Russian Empire, but they used to have their own nation there, and then the Russians had conquered it. And then later on, it became part of Ukraine, and then the Russians conquered it again. So it was called the Crimean Khanate. I think that's what it's called, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But can you play the Deus Ex series? I think you'd enjoy the stealth and the Illuminati lore. Also, Dishonored, Prey, Fallen Aces genre deserves some love. Thank you for the super chat, Armand. Yeah, and Deus Ex, that's the game where it's like the government is like invading your privacy, right? It's like a government conspiracy, and it's basically like the plot of the game is like criticizing like how much power you want to give the government, right? It's about like government overreach is like the whole plot of the game. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I could look into it. People have told me I would like that game before. I'd like the story, so I could I'm not spreading any misinformation, Ahmed. I'm just responding to questions. I'm just confused. That is what Saudi Arabia said when they banned chess. He said that chess is similar to gambling and a waste of time. He claimed that chess is a work of Satan that causes hatred and enmity between players. What? I'm gonna Google this in 1 second. Hold on. This is... Let me Google this. I'm just gonna Google this right now. Is chess banned in Saudi Arabia? Let's see.
Those buyers you rescued are very happy.
Let's
They're
see.
gonna send some other business our way.
Okay, here's what the first result on Google says. No, chess is not illegal in Saudi Arabia. However, in 2016, Saudi Arabia's Grand Mufti Sheikh Abdulaziz Al Sheikh issued a religious decree that forbade the game of chess. The decree was not a formal law, but it did raise concerns about the future of chess in Saudi Arabia and other Muslim countries. In his decree, Al Sheikh said that chess was a waste of time similar to gambling, a work of Satan, and a cause of hatred and enmity between players. Al Sheikh justified his decree by referring to a verse in the Quran that bans gambling, intoxicants, idolatry, and divination. But chess is not a gambling game. It's just a game of skill. It has nothing to do with gambling. But okay, so technically both of you guys are right. So like in the comments. So technically it's not banned under a law, but it was more of a formal decree. So technically it's, at least that's from what I'm reading. That I'm confused right now too. That's... Hey Jam, how are you? So I'm just... Like, I don't know. Can somebody confirm that more to me? Is chess actually banned in Saudi Arabia? That's like, I'm just confused. The first result on Google is like half and half. I'm just confused right now.
I was wondering when you were going to get here.
Who doesn't know all the chess casinos in Las Vegas? Yeah. Chess is a game of skill. It's not based on... And here's the thing is... Do you know how to tell if something is gambling? If something...
Now, all you have to do is to be attentif, eh?
Gambling is any kind of game that's based on chance and luck. So if there's a game that's based on chance and luck, and it involves money, it's gambling. If it's a game that's involved in skill, and even if you win money in it, it's not gambling. It would be... I will say this though. The only time that chess could be considered gambling is if two people are playing chess and I make a bet on one person that he's gonna win. At that point, that's gambling because I'm betting on one person. I'm taking my chances that that person is going to win. So it's just me basing my luck that person is gonna, you know, win. But the game of chess itself is not a gambling game. So literally anything can be considered gambling if you make bets on it. But the game of chess itself is not gambling. So I don't know like what this guy, this politician, who this guy is, this guy in he's the Grand Mufti, it says. I don't know the titles in Saudi Arabia, so I apologize. So I don't know how important he is in the government, but that's ridiculous. It's like trying to say that chess is a you know, a gambling game. Well, you were half right, WRB. Don't worry about it. And Ahmed was also half right too. So like I said, I'm just generally confused. It says that it's a that it was like a formal decree, so technically it's not illegal, but it was like the government was like complaining about it. Well, I'm sorry then, Ahmed. I'm just confused too. Like people are bringing this up to me. This is the first time I'm hearing about this, so I don't know. So technically it's not banned in the country. It's just more of like a formal decree that some, you know, some guy, you know, some top official, I don't know how important he is in the government, had made a statement on. So that's so apologies for any confusion here, but
Need to check the goods in your wagon for any contraband.
no, it's not banned. Shake just said not to do it, but it's not prohibited, just like another game called Balut. Okay, so and who is this guy? Who is the Shake guy? Who is he? Is he like some important like government official? Can somebody explain to me who he is? That's okay. So I apologize for any confusion here. So it's apparently chess is not banned in Saudi Arabia. It's just that like there was some like religious leader that said that it's not to play it and it's considered gambling.
Job's a job. No point arguing it. Your bureau business here.
Do I watch UFC? No, not really. If I watch any kind of fighting, I watch boxing. I don't really like UFC because I don't like how they roll around and stuff like that. I don't like that. I like more just the two guys or just standing up and just trying to hit each other, knock each other out. That's more what I like. I don't like all the rolling around and the falling in UFC. I just haven't been a fan of it personally. That's just. Okay, so it says here that the Sheikh is like the top religious cleric in Saudi Arabia. So it's not banned. So to clear up the confusion, chess is not banned in Saudi Arabia, but the top religious cleric had basically called chess a satanic game and told people not to play it and made like a formal decree. But technically, it's not being enforced. So that's the thing. How is chess a satanic game? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I missed some supers. Oh, okay, hold on. Great. Have I checked out Tora Tora? It's a movie about Pearl Harbor attack from both sides. It's free on YouTube. I actually know it's free. I've seen it in my recommended on YouTube. One more, the rapper superstar, Pride killed his barber? What? Thank you for the super chat, Golden. When would you be available tomorrow to talk about the video and finalize the script? Because after that, we gotta start to voice record and get this video out ASAP. I'm going to, tomorrow, I'm gonna actually, type up that part of the script that you wanted me to type up and send it to you, Blinded. So tomorrow, I'll send it to you. Thank you for sponsoring my channel, for 19 months. Thanks, man. Oh, I agree with you, WRV. There's nothing bad about the game of chess. Why is the ATF hated? I'm not American, LOL. Well, the ATF is really hated because of this. The agency, what it does is they harass legal gun owners all the time. So when it comes to the ATF, I think there's like a rule that if you buy like 2 handguns within like a 24-hour period, or I think it might be like 3 handguns, the ATF will like come to your house and harass you. That's what typically happens. And you haven't broken any law, but they will like come to your house and harass you. And that's not even the worst they've done. The ATF has been involved in numerous, incidents where people have died falsely. So they've been involved in, they've handled situations very badly before. And what the ATF also does is the ATF makes their own laws. So they're a federal agency cannot make laws; they can only follow the laws. But the ATF has made its own laws before, like for example, pistol braces, which were designed for like handicapped shooters to be able to like shoot guns more accurately at the range. The ATF said for several years that that's fine. And they've been out for like a decade, and then after a decade, they basically said that it's an SBR, which is a short-barreled rifle, and they basically made pistol braces illegal. And they told like gun owners that they have to register their pistol brace and like pay some kind of like fee, and if they don't do it, that by like I think it was like June last year, that they face like 10 years in prison. And out of all the people that own pistol braces, I think only like less than 5% actually registered it, and then the ATF didn't know what to do at that point. And then I think the Supreme Court actually reversed it. So the ATF is really hated because of the fact that it just makes laws. It makes laws. It's a dumb agency. It harasses legal gun owners. It's more of an agency that harasses law-abiding citizens instead of actually going after criminals. That's why people don't like it. What is this guy talking about? I was explaining, like, what the ATF and, like, what... There was, like, one guy who, like, made a comment asking me, like, why do Americans hate the ATF so much, and I was just explaining. Sheikh just made a fatwa, and other sheikhs argue about it, and if it's proven, then it's prohibited in the religion and the law is issued. If not, then it's just an argument. Okay. Well... Just to basically clear up the confusion, there was no chess is not banned in Saudi Arabia. There was just a confusion earlier, but it was like a top religious leader has basically criticized chess. Bobby Fischer was an interesting chess player. Isn't that the guy that was like a chess player in the 1960s? I think the Soviet players were like cheating against him, weren't they? Like, they were doing something to cheat. And he got, like, really mad about that. I know that. Yeah, I wish poker wasn't Fallout New Vegas. In 1962 Sports Illustrated article, Fischer claimed 3 Soviet players prearranged draws to save energy for their games against him. This accusation is widely considered accurate. So that's what they were doing to cheat? Do I think Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was rigged? I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. People keep saying it's rigged. I don't know. How much money to live in North Korea for 10 years? I would not you could not pay me $1 billion to live in North Korea for 1 year. I did hear about the United Healthcare CEO, Blinded Eagle. Thank you for the super chat. Well, what I will say about that WRV is that America is largely a non-vegetarian country. It's like most Americans are meat eaters. I think it's like 5 or 10% of the population of America is around vegetarian or vegan. And you know, my perspective on that is I really have no problem if somebody is, you know, a vegetarian or a vegan. One of my good friends is a vegetarian, so I really have no problem with that. But I will be honest with you, the only time I do have a problem with, like, vegetarianism or veganism is when they basically look down on people that eat meat. When they, like, think that meat eaters are, like, bad people, and they, like, criticize them and, like, harass them. That's the point when I start to have an issue, and that's the point where I get pissed. But other than that, somebody wants to be a vegetarian, I have no problem with that. That's their choice, and, you know, you can eat what you want. You know, so that's, I don't know much about Dutch's, backstory. But does his plans always failed ever since he started his criminal career? His plans were initially successful early on. His gang became very successful. But then it started going downhill. Thank you, Mr. Jesus, for the super chat. I did hear about the United Healthcare CEO. Thank you, Amateur. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, he got assassinated when he's walking out of the building. Oh,
What the hell?
oh crap. Stupidest decision in World War I? Getting involved in the war, like all those countries, because that war was completely avoidable. But like all the countries mobilizing and getting ready to fight, that was stupid. But if we're talking like in battle itself, the stupidest thing, maybe how Luigi Cardona handled the Battle of Caporetto. That was a disaster. That was like Italy's worst defeat in their history. Or maybe it was the British invasion of Gallipoli. That was a really bad idea too.
Go to hell.
Yeah, a lot of people did Amateur. I think I think that ultimately I think the problem is when people look down on people, and do you know what was so ridiculous? I had an email that actually came to me like half a year ago, and it was actually from like a vegetarian YouTuber, and he's like, do you want to like sit down and have like a debate on like you know, vegetarianism? And like I didn't end up I responded one time to him. I was nice to him, but basically politely declined. But it's like, you know, I don't understand, personally, I don't understand the need for a debate. It's like, why is there a debate needed in the first place? If somebody wants to be a vegetarian, let them be a vegetarian. If somebody wants to be a meat eater, let them be a meat eater. There's really no need for a debate. You don't need to have a debate. It's like, that's ultimately it. And it's like, you're not going to change people's minds. So that's what I'll just basically say about that, is that you're just not going to change people's minds. So I will just say that the issue is, like I said, when you look down on people, and when you basically feel that people are bad people. Like, if you think that somebody is a bad person because they're a meat eater, that's stupid. And I would say it's equally as bad if you're like a meat eater and you think vegetarians are stupid. That's equally as bad. So that's what I'll say about that, is that but you're a gamer, a YouTuber. Why would he debate you? Because of this. Because there was people that asked me about vegetarianism this as well. And there was like apparently some YouTuber. He wasn't big, by the way. He had like, I think like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. But he wanted to like debate me on vegetarianism. And it's like, it's just a weird thing. And it's just like, I'm not gonna sit there and debate over what we should eat or not. It was just not for me. It was just, And I will also say this, is regardless of whether you're a vegetarian or a meat eater, I think that everybody can agree that we need to get all these disgusting chemicals out of the food, because some foods have like really unhealthy chemicals that you buy in supermarkets. People really don't know about the risk of some of these foods, the chemicals these foods have. So I really hope that, like, you know, not to get into politics here, but I really hope that RFK, because he's gonna be the Secretary of Health now, I really hope that he, you know, makes America's food more similar to Europe, because Europe has a lot more regulation on what can be put in the foods. And so I really hope that that he makes the food healthier in the country, because there's a lot of food that has very toxic chemicals in it that should not be in the food at all. And the reason that companies put it in is because it's cheaper. It ultimately saves them money. Why did Henry Tandy spare Hitler during World War I? Are you talking about that British soldier that saw Hitler in World War I and didn't shoot him? Is that who you're talking about? I will say also is, here's the thing is, that guy gets so much hate throughout history, but it's not his fault. Because it's like, because the reason that he didn't shoot Hitler in World War I is because Hitler was just an unarmed soldier that was basically just staring at him. So, like, he saw him, and he was just like, you know, he was a British soldier that saw a German soldier just staring at him. He didn't have a rifle, and he was just staring at him. He didn't shoot him because he was not attacking him. He was an unarmed soldier. And so, it's like, he basically saw himself as killing somebody that was, you know, unarmed. So he didn't shoot him. And the thing is, though, how is the guy supposed to know that this guy is going to be like a genocidal dictator maniac that's going to kill millions of people 20 years later? So, like, the guy gets a lot of hate in history that he didn't shoot Hitler, but, like, how is the guy supposed to know? Like, how are you somebody supposed to know that this person is going to be like a mass murdering maniac that's going to kill millions of people in, like, 20 years from now? So, like, when people say, oh, he should have shot Hitler, well, he didn't know that at that time. It was just a regular soldier that he saw, and he didn't know that this guy was, like, evil or, you know, what he was going to do later on. So, how does he even know that it was Hitler? Because what happened was, the British guy told a story about a German soldier that he saw standing and staring at him, and then Hitler made a statement about it. Hitler talked about it too. So it's pretty much confirmed that the story happened because both of them have described it the same way. So that was pretty much it. So like I said, is that the guy, you cannot blame the guy, because like I said, he doesn't know. Like, you know, you don't, how are you supposed to know that somebody's gonna be a mass murderer? You're not gonna know that. So that was just it. He saw an unarmed soldier and he didn't shoot him. That was just it. If he shot him, history probably would have changed for the better. But like I said, he didn't know at the time. It was just like, you don't know something like that. There was, I will also say this, and it was Hitler who did all those horrible things. Hitler chose to do those horrible things. Hitler chose to invade countries. He chose to commit mass murder. So that British soldier that didn't shoot him, that's not his fault. It's Hitler's fault. Hitler was the one who ended up choosing to do evil. You know, he saw an unarmed soldier and didn't shoot him. That was just it. There was a I remember that there was this case that I read about that was like really horrible. It was like, and basically what it was, there was this case where there was a paramedic involved in this case. So there was this gangster. I don't remember exactly what the gangster did in his first crime. I don't remember what he did. The only thing I remember is that the police cornered him. So, like, the police cornered him, and this gangster basically started talking crap to the police. He started talking crap to the police, and the police told him to drop the gun, and he started talking crap to the police, acting like such a tough guy, and he tried to draw on the police. And when he tried to draw on the police all opened fire on him. And the guy got shot like 20 or so times. And the same guy that was talking crap was still alive after he got shot. And he was, like, crying and begging and, like, saying, please save me, please, I don't want to die. You know, after he basically got into a shootout with the cops. And the paramedic came and saved this guy's life. He saved the guy's life, stabilized him, got him to the hospital. The guy ended up surviving. I don't know how you get survive after getting shot by 20 times, but I guess it was just sheer luck. No vital organs got hit. But he ended up going to prison. The guy served in prison for a number of years. And after the guy got out of prison, after several years, do you know what ended up happening is? That same guy who got out of prison, the guy who got shot, ended up robbing some poor girl, and he shot her in the head and killed her. So he robbed him, you know, some poor girl after he got out and killed her. And then he got arrested again and sentenced to life in prison. The paramedic who saved that guy's life went insane. Like, he went insane. Like, he had suffered from severe mental problems. He felt guilty. He felt like he was the one who got that girl killed. He felt that it was his fault because he saved that guy's life, you know, the gangster's life, and the gangster ended up going and killing this poor girl. And he had such mental problems that he had to get put in an insane asylum. That's how many mental problems he suffered from. And he was, like, on suicide watch. And I don't know what happened to the paramedic. I don't know if he, you know, ever recovered from those mental problems that he had. But the thing is, though, is when you really think about the story, is it really the paramedic's fault of what happened in that event? Because it's like a bunch of chain reaction of events. And, you know, going back to this story where that British soldier did not shoot Hitler in World War I, he didn't want to shoot an unarmed soldier. Like, is it really his fault, everything that happened afterwards? Not really. Hitler was the one who did those horrible things. Hitler was the one who chose to do evil. And in the second situation, was that gangster going and shooting that poor girl? Was that really the paramedic's fault? No. It's like, if the gangster died, would the girl still be alive? Possibly. But at the end of the day, the paramedic's job is to save people. That was the paramedic's job, is to save people. It doesn't matter if the person's a bad person or not. The paramedic's job is to save people. And so he did his job, saving his people. It was that scumbag, that bastard, excuse my language, was the one he chose, you know, to murder this poor girl. So he was the one who did it. So I don't think the paramedic is at fault even 1%. I don't think the paramedic has any fault in that. The paramedic did his job, was supposed to save somebody. I think that it was ultimately the gangster's fault who shot this girl. He was the one who did it. And so, like, but I can understand why the paramedic went insane, because he feels like if he didn't save this guy's life, that girl still would have been alive. And so he blames himself, and that's why, you know, he ended up getting put in an insane asylum. But that was it. Let me see here. What's up, Pro? Going to catch another stream. It's been hectic lately. My wife and I are getting ready to move soon. Great times ahead. Take care, bud. Well, thank you for sponsoring my channel for 4 years, Keiju. Thanks, man. I hope everything's going good with you. My next lore video will be about the Russian Mafia in San Andreas when I finish San Andreas. The meat in your typical supermarket is actually bad. Think about what they feed them and the crap they pump into them to make them grow and be plump. That's why I strictly eat horse meat. Horse meat? Well, thank you for the super chat. Jockcake lover, thank you. But I will. There's plenty of meats that you can eat that are, you know, healthy and don't have all these chemicals in it. But unfortunately, there's so much stuff is processed, and so much stuff does have meat in it. But I'm a bit confused on that, because I've never heard about somebody eating horse meat. I don't know. I've just never heard about that personally. Thank you for the super chat, but people have been eating horse meat for hundreds of years. I've never heard about it. That's the first time. I'm not trying to sound rude or anything. That's just the first time that I've honestly heard about it. Pat, I beg for one thing for Christmas. Play Cold Hard DLC in Batman Arkham Origins. You need an Xbox 360 in Christmas. Please play it. I will play, I don't know what game I'm gonna play for Christmas, Christmas Eve. I think what I'm probably gonna do on Christmas Eve is I'm probably gonna play GTA Online. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because on every Christmas Eve, I do a charity stream on Christmas Eve. And so, the more viewers that we have on a charity stream, the more people are going to donate, and so I want to play the most popular game, just so that we can raise the most amount of money for the charity. I don't know what charity it's going to be, I don't know that. I might choose St. Jude's again, that's what I usually do, but I'll have to think about it. I'll find a good charity. And also, whenever I do my charity streams every year, I always donate hundreds of my own dollars live, so I'm not a hypocrite. I don't ask people to donate and then don't donate myself. I always donate hundreds of my own dollars live, but we'll probably play GTA Online, because GTA Online Moonshine is going to be the most popular one, and that'll help us raise the most money for a charity. If I played like Batman, it probably would not get as popular, and so we wouldn't get as much charity donations. Yeah, we can play Uno near the end of the stream on that one, Blinded Eagle. Oh, that's fine, Mustang. Horse meat is eaten by Kazakhs and the Japanese people. The Japanese call it basashi? Oh. Yeah, I could, Jam. We Eastern Europeans eat horse meat because our ancestors did. Tajikistan or Kazakhstan, it's actually very common. Supermarket meat promotes cancers. You inject animals with chemicals and feed them horrible diets. Thank you, Jockey Glover, and thank you for the largest super chat today. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Everyone give Jockey everyone give Jockey Glover a thanks there. Thank you, dude, for that. Shout out there to Jockey Glover. But I will but you're saying that you're an Eastern European. Where are you from, though? My parents are from Eastern Europe as well, but I've just never heard about horse meat. I guess it's because I'm an American. Because in America we really don't have horse meat. I'm sure there's restaurants that sell it, but we really don't have it. Oh, am I pronouncing his name incorrectly? It's not. How do I pronounce your name then? Okay, I'll hate the corrupt politicians at Yakuza, Kiwami, not only because he's a psychopath, because his boss fight has a lot of BS in it. Also, the police commissioner in 4. Okay. We're gonna be playing Yakuza soon, after I finish San Andreas. Oh, you're Serbian. Oh, okay. My parents are from Poland. But my dad is a Tatar. And the Tatars I know are originally from Central Asia, but I would have to ask him about that. But I don't know if there's if horse meat is a common dish in Tatar culture, but okay, I have the PS1 theme, Katos. How well do you know Polish? I can speak Polish fluently. Would I consider LA Noire police work to be realistic? No. He gets his fingerprints over everything. He constantly violates, there's constant violations when it comes to questioning. There's violations of the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth and Fifth Amendment are constantly violated. Hey pro, you should play a San Andreas Stories mod by SA Squad if you play San Andreas playthrough. It's set in 1989 and you play as Jose from the Los Aztecas, the Los Aztecas, yeah. But thank you, Nick. I think that's just a joke with the Los Aztecas, right? But I will definitely play it. I'll have to figure out how to get it running, but I'll play it. I can play it too, yeah. I'll cook you delicious horse meats, lots of protein, very healthy. Well, thank you, thank you, Jockey Glover, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But, thank you, dude, for all the super chats. But you live in Australia now? Because you're donating Australian, dollars. But, what is it? I will say this, say what you want about RFK, but at least RFK takes food healthy very seriously. And he does want to get rid of these chemicals that are in the food, like these toxic chemicals, and I really hope he does. You know, he actually fixes that and gets all this toxic stuff out of like supermarket foods, because this is ridiculous. Like a lot of this food that you eat that has all these cancer-causing chemicals in it, it's just ridiculous. So I hope he deals with that, and I hope he cleans up the food industry. I have not talked to my half-brother in over a decade. Joe Kick. Oh, Joe Kick. Okay, that's how you read his name. Okay. He's the new Secretary of Health in America. I'll look at it after, Zach. Well, I will just say this though, Cyber, is I'm willing to give the guy a chance because the people that we've had involved in our health have been really bad, and they've already been considered experts. So like we've had people that are so-called experts, like in charge of like food health, and they've done a terrible job. After Yugoslavia collapsed, we immigrated. Oh, okay, Joe Kick. Thank you for the super chat. No, I'm not related to RFK. No, I was just saying that I hope that his reforms fix the food industry. That's what I was basically saying. No, RFK is the nephew of JFK. I think he's the nephew, yeah. What, is this like similar to Shang-Chi, Gunner? I don't remember, Anonymous. I don't remember. I just remember it was a documentary that I watched a long time ago. Oh yeah, I know Mirror's Edge. I remember when that game first came out on PS3, yes. Split point right here. Search the area for the targets. Well, thank you, Tricky Mario. That is kind of a creepy question on that game show. Tell the chat what you know about my country. We are brave people. You mean Serbia, right? You don't mean well, do you mean Serbia or Australia? I'm assuming you mean Serbia then. But about Serbia, Serbia managed to actually hold off Austria-Hungary in World War I. So like Austria-Hungary struggled against Serbia in World War I. So Serbia really put up a very big defense against the Austrian-Hungarians in World War I. But Serbia also suffered a lot in World War I. I think they lost 25% of their entire population. So like 1 out of 4 Serbs died in World War I. So they tried to hold off against Austria-Hungary, but then I think Germany was helping them. Germany then pushed into Serbia. But Serbia Serbia being such a small country, the fact that it managed to stop like Austria-Hungary from invading their country, they managed to stop an entire empire. That's impressive. Serbia was blamed for the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. The thing is, though, it's debated on whether the Black Hand was actually part of the Serbian government. We don't know that. There's, like, conspiracies that they had connections to the Serbian government. That we don't know. But Austria-Hungary made a bunch of demands to Serbia, and Serbia agreed to the vast majority of the demands. The only demand they didn't agree to is they didn't want Austrian-Hungarian police in their country. And because of that, when they said no to that, Austria-Hungary invaded. What happened to the GTA 6 knockoff game Paradise? It's actually on the PlayStation Store right now. I'm actually going to do a video on it probably in the weekend. Oh, you found the targets. Good work. Here's something dark in Batman lore. What is it? Thank you, Golden. Oh, I need some help over here.
You hear? You better untie me now.
I'm surprised they're not all running.
Oh, once I'm loose, I'm gonna bleed you dry. Just my luck.
What the hell? You will be sorry for this. Get this goddamn rope off me.
Okay.
You better pray I don't get loose. Whoa, what the hell? Son of a bitch.
I'm looking forward to seeing more lore videos. Thank you, Josh. Could the Soviets have defeated Nazi Germany without any help? No. But here's the thing: Britain could not have defeated Nazi Germany without Soviet help, and the U.S. could not have defeated Nazi Germany without Soviet help too. So that's it. That's all I'll say about that one.
You will pay for this.
Oh shit! God damn it!
What's your final thoughts on Big Monopoly Supermarket mistreating its animals and then feeding them to us with chemicals and horrible diets, and then they expect we buy their food?
Get this goddamn rope off me.
It's there needs to be more laws on this. That a lot of this food, the company should not be able to put this this junk into food. They just shouldn't be using all these toxic chemicals for it.
You son of a bitch!
Thank you, Joe Kick. Why did the U.S. and the USSR become enemies after World War II? Because the Soviets wanted to spread communism to the rest of Europe, and they broke their promises.
I'm gonna haunt you like a ghost!
What do I know about Scottish history? I know that Scotland became part of Great Britain, or the country of Great Britain. It was in the early 18th century. I'm pretty sure is when it happened. And I know that the Union Jack, the flag, is a combination of Scotland, England, and Wales's flag. Or I would have to look at the Union Jack again on it, but, the Red Cross is, the Red Cross and the Union Jack is the English flag. The blue in there, the blue white X is the Scottish flag. And then the other one, the Welsh flag. I'm pretty sure it's the Welsh flag is the third one that makes it up.
Damn it! Leave me be.
No part of the Union Jack represents Wales. Wow, I did not know that. It was already considered part of England when the Union Jack was created. Oh, so that I didn't know.
Paying for this.
Jackass.
Scotland was colonized multiple times by Norwegians, Irish, Normans, British, also Danes. Danes also colonized Scotland too.
Well, ain't these folks a handful?
San Andreas story isn't hard to set up. Another mod you should play is Vice City Next Gen Edition, a Vice City remake, using GTA 4. It has every mission and is coming within a month. Really? I'll definitely look into that one. Is Rockstar gonna shut that project down? Because I feel like Rockstar could shut that project down, Nick. Why did America enter World War I? Well, mainly because Britain had borrowed massive loans from the US, and the US was scared that if Britain lost the war that they would not be able to pay back the loans. The guys are in Russia. Take-Two can't do anything. Well, even if they are in Russia, if they try to, what Take-Two Interactive could do is they could just copyright strike everybody playing the mod. They could do that too. So while they might not be able to stop people from downloading the mod, they could copyright strike anyone playing the mod on YouTube. That could happen. Because if somebody makes a better mod than the definitive edition, they might go after them. That's a possibility that might happen. Why is a new Killzone not out yet? You can blame Horizon for that, because Guerrilla completely gave up on Killzone, and now everything is Horizon. I want a new Killzone. I agree with you. I would like a new Killzone. No, I haven't. I haven't played Payday 3 in like a year. Is Take-Two a scummy company? Yes. Copyrighting YouTube videos or playing mods, that's quite petty. Yes, but it's happened before. Developers have done that before. They've gone after people for playing mods, so that's the thing is, if that Vice City remake mod comes out, what I probably will do is I'll probably wait like a month, and if they're not striking anybody after a month, then I'll probably play it. I'll probably just see like what happens then, because you guys gotta understand my perspective too. Is I'm just constantly scared about these copyright strikes constantly going after me too. No, I didn't know that, Joe Kick. Oh, it's Christmas music that's playing in the saloon. I just realized that. We have the same dad, Kobe. Yeah, my half-brother and me, we have the same father. What's the new elusive target in Hitman? Didn't Khabib flee Russia? Or am I thinking of another Russian fighter? There was like one Russian fighter that like fled Russia like a couple months back. Two queens and an ace, huh? Well, no, they can still copyright claim it, Jam, because all they basically need to do is they could just argue that it's their game, because they can't really say that it's fair use. What Take-Two Interactive might say is they might say this Vice City mod copies their game. That's what basically they say. And they own the rights to Vice City, and so anybody making a mod based on Vice City, they would have the right to shut down. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying that's the argument they would use. It won't have the Haitian censorship in the... Oh, he's got 3 queens. He would have won that hand regardless. Okay. Good thing I folded. The ironic thing about the RAF, a Red Army faction, is that it has an MP5 on it. The RAF was a far-left West German terror group. Yeah, and the MP5 was a West German gun. I know about that. It was a communist terrorist group that operated in West Germany during the Cold War. No, that really wouldn't do anything, Machiavelli. What was the worst atrocity during World War I? Armenian genocide. Yeah, but what I will say to you about Johnny Harris is Johnny Harris makes a lot of historical mistakes in his videos. So be very careful when you watch Johnny Harris. Like I watched Johnny Harris's video on like the Second Amendment, for example, and there was so many mistakes with it. It was just such a poorly researched video. It was so bad. What was the mistakes? Well, how basically he was claiming in his videos, the Switzerland video, he was claiming in his video how like the forefathers never wanted like the Second Amendment to be a right, and he was arguing that it was more of a collectivist rights and not a individual right to own a firearm. But if you look at the Federalist Papers written by James Madison, and James Madison is the guy who actually wrote the Second Amendment, in this Federalist Papers, he makes it very clear that it was an individual right to bear arms. He makes statements directly on it, and the fact that he can make a documentary on that and not even, take the guy out of context who wrote the Second Amendment. So that's what I'll say about Johnny Harris, is he's made mistakes before with his documentaries. What was the Armenian genocide? the Armenian genocide happened in Armenia, which was occupied by the Ottoman Empire at the time, and the Russians had invaded Armenia during World War One. And what happened was the Armenians ran to the Russians for help when the Russians invaded Armenia, and the Turks, the Young Turks who were in charge at that point, the Young Turks was like an extremist, like fascist nationalistic party that was in power. They were, and this is not the talk show on YouTube, by the way, the actual group was called the Young Turks. That was the name of the political party that controlled the Ottoman Empire at the time. They were so pissed at the Armenian population that was helping the Russians that what they did was they started deporting the Armenians to like work camps and just like mass murdering them. And like they would just they would put them on these death marches where they would just execute them. They would take over their homes, kill them, mass murder them, you know, women, kids. It was like somewhere between 1 million to 2 million Armenians were killed in the Armenian genocide. And the thing is, though, is that Turkish nationalists, they constantly denied the Armenian genocide even to this day, and they claim that the Armenians were working with the Russians during during World War One. But you have to ask yourself, why were the Armenians working with the Russians in the first place? It was because the Ottomans were oppressing them. They took over their country. They colonized them. They took over their land. They killed their people. So you cannot blame the Armenians for helping the Russians when the Russians had invaded Armenia. But that was the Turks got so pissed at the Armenians for that, and they just started genociding the Armenian population. And like I said, the modern day government of Turkey denies the Armenian genocide. The Turkish government denies it, and schools in Turkey will not teach about it. Okay, let's see. 6 and a queen. Pro, if you weren't a YouTuber, what career would you have chosen? Probably something possibly in law enforcement, but I really don't want to do that too. Maybe I would have worked in gunsmithing. Maybe I would have done that instead. Did the Sultanate not have any power? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much of a role the Sultan had in the Armenian genocide. I don't know that. But the people that were responsible for the Armenian genocide were the Young Turks. They were the ones who were doing it. So the Sultan probably had a part in it. I don't know how much. I don't know if it was like a lot or if it was I don't know the extent. But it was the Ottoman government that was doing it, and it was the Young Turks, the political party, that was doing it. And what I find so weird is that there's a YouTube channel called the Young Turks. I find that so weird. And like I said, the Young Turks was a fascist nationalistic group that hated everybody who was not Turks. So the Young Turks, when they controlled the Ottoman Empire, they believed that Turks were superior to Arabs, Greeks, Armenians, Albanians. They hated anybody that was not a Turk. They were extremely racist towards non-Turks, and so I just find it ridiculous that there's a YouTube channel that's called the Young Turks when it's literally based off of an extremist racist organization that was responsible for a horrible genocide. Let's see here, I'm gonna raise here. No, I'm gonna win here. Okay, we won. That's why if anybody has ever played Battlefield 1, you know when you do the Arab missions in Battlefield 1, when you're playing as that Bedouin woman that's fighting against the Ottoman forces, those are the Young Turks that you're fighting against in that campaign. And the reason that the Bedouin tribes really hated the Young Turks is because the Young Turks considered Arabs inferior to them. So even though Arabs and Turks had similar religious views, it was the fact that the Young Turks were a racist organization. They believed that Arabs were inferior to Turks, and that's why Arabs hated them so much. Because they were the Turks were basically telling the Arabs how to live, and they were just dominating their lives, and the Arabs had no say, and they were treated like second-class citizens in their own empire. Let's see here, and I'm gonna go here, guys, because I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm just really hungry. But I'm gonna read a few questions before I go. I'll look into San Andreas stories. I definitely will. I'll look into it. Yes. During one of the mandatory Marxist classes that I was forced to take in college. What is this? I played Call of Duty Black Ops 1 in class. Wait, what do you mean? How do you play it in class? You're talking about Vietnam, right? When you were, because you're in Vietnam, right? Yes, there was armored trains in World War I that did happen, but after World War I, they stopped being used. Because the reason is that listen, you could make the most powerful armored train on the planet, but all you basically need is just one guy with a crowbar, and you can stop that entire train. That's basically it. That's why trains stopped being used. Armored trains stopped being used for that specific reason. Armored trains are still used today, but they're not used in combat. What armored trains are used for today is they're used to transport tanks. They're used to transport tanks or other heavy vehicles and weapons to battles, but they're not used in combat anymore. Is Battlefield 1 historically accurate? Not really, but it's more historically accurate than Battlefield 5. What happened to the Young Turks? They fell apart after World War I. Oh, the British Empire committed numerous atrocities against many native peoples that they had colonized. Earth Defense Force. One of my friends plays that game. I might ask him about that.
What the devil was that all about?
What do you know about the Korean Mafia? Well, it depends. Are you talking with the North Korean or the South Korean Mafia? The North Korean Mafia I know much more about. Here's the thing is, the North Korean Mafia might actually be the second most powerful mafia in the entire world. And I know some people might be like, what? North Korean Mafia is the second most powerful mafia in the world? Yeah. You don't really hear about them. But the reason that the North Korean Mafia is so powerful is because they're backed by the government. The government of North Korea backs the North Korean Mafia, so they fund them. And that's what makes them so powerful, is they have an entire government behind their back. If you want to know who's number one on the list, the number one most powerful group is the Mexican cartel. But I would say probably number two would be the North Korean Mafia, because of the fact that they have the backing of the North Korean government. If you want to know, how do North Korean politicians get luxuries in North Korea? So like when you see North Korean politicians with like Rolex watches, or they're driving around in like Mercedes or BMW cars, how do they get that in North Korea? Like those luxurious fur coats, how do they get that? The North Korean Mafia smuggles that in for the leaders of North Korea. That's how they basically get that stuff into the country. And the North Korean Mafia is inside North Korea. That's where they operate primarily from. And so nobody's going to extradite them. They're not going to get arrested. They have no chance of being brought down because of that. And for people that say, oh, North Korea is a communist country, and so therefore it's not, there can't be a mafia. Because I've heard stupid comments like that where people say, oh, communist countries don't have mafias because they're communist, and so there's no economy or money. They get paid. The North Korean mafia lives in mansions in North Korea. They get paid. They might live in a communist country with everyone else, but they live like millionaires compared to everyone else, and because of that, they don't care. What do you think are each GTA protagonist's weaknesses? Thank you, Sweet Pumpkin. Claude's weakness is that he has no friends. No true friends. Tommy's weakness, I would say, would be... He doesn't anticipate people betraying him. CJ's weakness... I would say not standing up to people close to him. So, like, there's people close to him that he doesn't want to stand up to. Tony Cipriani's weakness, too loyal. He's too loyal to the point where he lets Salvatore roll all over him. Vic's weakness, Lance. Nico's weakness, obsession with revenge. Johnny's weakness, Ashley. Luis's weakness, does he have a weakness? I don't know. I don't think Luis might have a weakness. I don't think he does. Can't think of anything. Trevor's weakness, not thinking things through rationally. Franklin's weakness, I don't know. I don't know about Franklin. If you had to be any kind of Rockstar villain for one day, which would you be and why? Also, thank you for the amazing content as usual. Thank you, somebody32. If I could choose any Rockstar villain to be, for one day, maybe I could be Dutch, and I would actually make things sane, and not let things get out of control. Thank you, somebody32. Yeah, I would say Dutch, probably, and get things under control. Tommy Vercetti can be too power-hungry. Maybe, but I would say Lance, Lance, maybe that. But that's actually a really good video. You gave me a really good video idea, Sweet. If I ever make a video on this, I'll give you credit for this. But I might make a video like that one day. Like, what are each character's weaknesses? And maybe I could do a separate video, what are each character's strengths, too. I could do that. What's the point in fighting except, sport? Wait, what? I don't understand the super chat. What do you mean? But I guess we will wrap, I skipped Huang Li. I don't know if Huang really has any weaknesses. I would have to think about that. I don't think he does. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for... Oh, Blinded made a super chat also. Let me look here. Sorry if I missed it. Afghanistan is easy to invade, hard to control. That is true. Thank you, Joe Kick. I still want to talk tomorrow just to make sure that we don't have to tweak anything with the script. Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. I'll invite you tomorrow. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. Okay, so I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Again, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for talking to me. And thank you guys for stopping by my stream. I hope that you guys all have a great weekend. And we'll stream on Sunday again. We'll stream GTA Online. And hopefully we get more news about the next update soon. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.